Hello everybody, I'm Dave from Polypad and I am excited to share with you our Polypad updates for February 2023. 5 big updates in this video. 1, the ability to split algebra tiles. I'm going to show you the new way to evaluate expressions. We have some improvements to the action bar. We now have the ability to flip the number frames. And finally, we've added a number of features to our line tool under our geometric construction. So let me dive in. I'm going to click on this X algebra tile, and there are 2 new options in the action bar to split the algebra tile. So I will click on this first one, and you can see I get an X over 2 tile. I'm going to merge these back together and split it the other way, and you can see it's also an X over 2 tile, but now it's a vertical tile. I can keep splitting. I get an X over 4 tile, and I can split this into an X over 8 tile and so on. This works with all of the algebra tiles, so I can split the XY tile as I like, or the negative X squared tile, or the X squared tile. And then if I want, I can pull them apart as needed and certainly merge them back together. All sorts of great use cases for the ability to split algebra tiles. Looking forward to seeing what you come up with. Here's a couple that I was thinking of just to get you thinking about how you could use these on Polypad. Here's an activity where I have 3 is balancing the y over 2, and I might ask students to balance the other scales on the canvas. So this here, if y over 2 is 3, the full y is 6, and that balances, and then y over 4 would be half of 3, so this will be 1.5, and all those balance nicely. I was also thinking that I could use the ability to split algebra tiles to build equations like this on the balance scale, and then use the tools to solve them. So first I'll build this on the balance scale. I'm going to get this to x over 4, but I need 3 of them. So I'll take that one off. So there is 3/4 of an x plus 4. So I'm going to go to the number cards, add a 4 to the canvas, and then enter in 19 on the other side. And it doesn't balance yet because, as you may know, the starting value of an x tile on Polypad is 5. And 5 is not the solution to this equation, so the first thing that I need to do is balance the scale. So I've clicked on the balance scale, and I'm going to click balance in the action bar, and Polypad is going to change the value of the x tile from 5 to whatever is going to balance this scale. So watch what happens when I click balance. The scales get balanced, and now x is some other number than 5 that has caused this scale to be balanced. So maybe I'll copy the 4 tile, hit negate, and then copy this. And so I've added -4 onto both sides of the balance scale, preserves equality. I can put these on top of each other. I get this nice 0. That was the goal of putting -4 to get that to be 0. I'll hit delete, and now I see that 3/4 x equals 15. So I'm envisioning taking the 15 and splitting it up into 3 piles. I'll even show that with the number cards here. I'll get rid of the 15 and show that as 3 groups of 5. I'm curious what a full x is. So in order to have this be a full x, I need another quarter x on that side of the scale, which is another 5. And now that's balanced. So I can merge all these 5s together to get 20, and merge all the x's together to get x. All the quarter x's together. So x is 20. So that's a nice way to think about the fractional algebra tiles on the balance scale. All right, let me continue on with what is new here. I'm going to add a expression to the canvas. I'll just do 4 plus 8 divided by 3, and I will make this much bigger so you can see it. And as you notice, Polypad has not evaluated this expression that I've added to the canvas. 12 divided by 3 is 4. It's not showing me that the answer is 4. And the new way on Polypad to evaluate an expression like this is in the action bar. So I'm going to click on the advanced dropdown under the 3 dots, and you can see there's a toggle now here to evaluate this. So I'm going to turn turn this on, and you can see it shows me that that's 4. If I change this to 11, now it's 5, so that updates in real time as I change the expression. And so that's a toggle that I can turn on and off for any expression that I add to the canvas. 5 squared minus 100 equals 100. I want to do minus 100, right? So there's another expression I've added to the canvas. And again, I could say I want to have this evaluated, but not the other, and so on. Now, if you want to turn that on or off for students so they don't have the ability to turn on the toggle to evaluate expressions, that is under our advanced customization options. So I'm going to go to the File menu. Under Features, I'm going to go to Custom. And now I'm going to enter this mode where I can select the tiles and tools that appear on canvas. So I'm going to click this button, and now I'm going to go to an expression that I added to the canvas. And under the tools, I'm going to uncheck the option to evaluate. And so when I uncheck this, evaluate is not going to appear in the action bar. I'm going to exit this mode, and now you can see that evaluate is not there. I can change the layer or the interactivity. I could turn those off as well. But if this is a canvas that I was making for students, I've turned that off. And that's off on the entire canvas, so any expression that I add to the canvas here to 7, I don't have the ability to evaluate. Great. A few changes to the action bar to share. First, the option to pin the action bar at the bottom of the canvas is now under the advanced menu. It was in the action bar here with the thumbtack. It's now in the advanced menu. So that's one thing. The other thing that I want to point out is as I move a tile, I'm going to unpin this. What you'll notice here is that the action bar, it stays on the canvas. And so as I'm moving this off the canvas, the action bar stays on the canvas. And that's the same if I move it off the canvas on the left. So that's an update where in the past the action bar would always be on the right. So if I move the tile over here, I couldn't see the action bar. So that's a nice improvement. Two last things to share. We've added the ability to do a flip on a number frame. So just with the click of the button, I can flip that number frame, whether it is it's vertical or horizontal. I can flip it. I could select them both and flip it, which is really nice. So that's a helpful tool. And the last thing to share, we've added a number of features on our line tool. So I'm going to draw a line on the canvas. And then I'm going to go back to the Move tool. So I'm still in the Line tool. I'm going to go to the action bar and click on the arrow. And I want to show you a number of things that appear in the advanced menu of this line. So first, I could change whether I want to not have any arrows. I could have arrows at the start and at the end. So there are both arrows. Let me just make this a straight line here. And I'm going to pin the action bar so we can see it at the bottom and go back to the line. So again here, I could have an arrow at the start, I could have an arrow at the end, or I could have arrows on both. Now, a quick note about the line here. I want to point out that I can click on the line or on the point at the end of the line. And so I have the points here where I can change the length of the line, right? If I want to turn that off, so I have a fixed line, what I want to do is lock those points. So I'm going to click on this point here, and I'm going to go to the advanced menu, and under interactivity, I'm going to lock that. So that point is now locked, so I can't move it. Right here, I'm moving the line, not the point. Further, if I want to make it so that point is gone, I can make it invisible. So I can lock it and make it invisible. I first have to unlock it, so I'm going to go here to the File menu, and I'm going to edit Hidden and Locked Tiles. So I'll click on the point, and I'm going to make that point invisible now, so you can't even see it. I'll do the same with this one. I'm going to make it invisible. And so now when I exit this mode, you can see that that those points are gone, and I can move this line around the canvas, but I can't change what the length of the line is. So it's sort of like I've locked what the length of the line is, but students still have the ability to move the line around the canvas. Awesome. A few other things to share. I can put some labels on the line. I could do a bar, a double bar if I had other lines on the canvas that I wanted to show for the same length as this one, or if I wanted to show the lines were parallel, I could do an arrow or a double arrow. Awesome. And the final thing is, so this is a segment, right? We have the ability to change it into a ray that goes infinite length in one direction. So I can make this into a ray, and you can see now it's going in an infinite direction off to the right. Here's a point where I can change the angle of the ray. And here's where I can move the starting point of the ray. Or I could make this a line which goes off the canvas in both directions. So now there's a line. Here I can change the angle. Here I change the angle in the other direction. Of course, I can move the line, right? So all sorts of additional options are now on the line tool between a line, a segment, and an array. Wonderful. Those are all our updates for the beginning of February 2023. We have a lot more planned for the coming months on Polypad, so please subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay informed about these updates. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to always seeing what you're creating on Polypad.